This is CBSSports.com's College Basketball 360. I'm Kevin Cork. Great to have you with us once again, everybody. It is time for our Big 12 preseason preview right here at CBSSports.com. And for more, we welcome our college basketball insiders, Gary Parrish and Jeff Goodman, to the show. Guys, great to have you with us. First to you, Gary. Who is going to win the Big 12 this season? And don't tell me it's going to be Kansas again.
What do you want me to do? It's Kansas every year. I don't make the rules, but I do look at the Wikipedia pages. And if you go through Bill Self, it says first, year after year for Big 12 championships. 8 straight years now they've gotten at least a share of the title. I recognize they're losing 2 big-time players, most notably Thomas Robinson, a National Player of the Year candidate last year, who spent the weekend dunking over Dwight Howard. But still, Kansas is the pick. Until they show that they don't win it every year, you'd be dumb to pick against them.
And you know what? I'm not dumb, so I'm going to go with the Kansas Jayhawks also. And new cast of characters, Thomas Robinson and Tyshawn Taylor are gone. In comes Elijah Johnson. He'll be maybe the star scorer for this team. Watch for a freshman guard named Ben McLemore. He sat out last year as a partial qualifier. He'll be the star this year. Jeff Withey will provide the defensive help on the interior, and the Kansas Jayhawks will win the Big 12 again.
Yeah, but let me ask you, though, every now and again, a team will sneak up on KU. They may not win it, but they can give them trouble. And this year, the Jayhawks are actually missing a couple of key components from last year's squad. Gary, first to you, then to you, Jeff. How do they replace guys like Thomas and Robinson?
The same way they replaced the Morris twins before that. The same way they replaced Cole Aldridge before that. Same way they replaced Sharon Collins once upon a time. I don't think there's any program in America that's better at bringing guys into the program, letting them sort of linger on the bench behind stars, and then when the stars leave, these new guys pick up right where they left off. Who was Thomas Robinson when he was playing behind the Morris twins? Obvious talent, but he had no numbers to back up what we did last year, and Jeff deserves credit for making the pitch for him, making him a first-team All-American in the preseason. But we knew what kind of prospect he was, and we knew that Bill Self has a legacy now of taking guys off his bench and turning them into stars. I suspect that this will be pretty much the same thing.
I like the experience, too. You look at this Kansas team, while they haven't been in their current roles, Elijah Johnson is a senior. Jeff Withey is in his 5th year in college. Even Ben McLemore, who I mentioned, was in the program last year and learned. So I think, again, you can't question Bill Self. He always brings in new guys into those roles, and he proved last year that he's not just a recruiter, that he can really coach by taking that team all the way to the championship game.
This is our Big 12 preview here at College Basketball 360. I'm Kevin Cork. Great to have our insiders with us once again, Gary Parrish and Jeff Goodman. We are looking at the Big 12, and guys, I want to ask you about the return of the Huggy Bear, and I don't mean Antonio Fargas. I'm talking about Bob Huggins. He's back in the conference over at West Virginia. How do you see that impacting this year's league? First to you, Gary.
Yeah, a lot of people forget that he spent a year at Kansas State in between Cincinnati and West Virginia. Now West Virginia makes the move to the Big 12. And listen, Hugs is a little bit like some coaches I've mentioned before, which is that regardless of his roster, they're always good. Always good. And now he's actually got players. A transfer, Eric Murray, who's going to be an All-American type guy. He's had some off-the-court issues, but he's super talented, possible NBA player. And I think Hugs is going to factor into the Big 12 race. I don't think on paper they're as good as Kansas, but on paper, can they push Kansas, be in the top 25 all year, and make a return to the NCAA tournament? There's no question.
Yeah, I'm with Gary. I love the fact that West Virginia brings in a couple transfers, and Eric Murray, who's a terrific talent, just didn't work out at LaSalle. But Huggins is pretty good with kind of second-chance guys. Juwan Staten transfers in from Dayton. He sat out last year, had some experience. So those guards, they were the biggest issue last year. Remember, they had Kevin Jones, arguably the player of the year in the Big East a year ago, but they had young guards. Those guys now have a year of experience with Gary Brown and Jabari Hines, Juwan Staten, and they've got Eric Murray down low. I think this team could challenge certainly one of the top couple spots in the league right away.
It's going to be a great season. Baylor, of course, will obviously also be in the mix. Of course, we thank our experts, Gary Parrish and Jeff Goodman, joining us once again here on College Basketball 360. By the way, if you go to our website, CBSSports.com, you can see how our experts are predicting the Big 12 will wrap up this season. Our preseason number 1, of course, Kansas, followed by Baylor, West Virginia, the Wildcats, Longhorns, and Cowboys, rounding out the top part of the the league, then you have the Cyclones, Sooners, Red Raiders, and the Horned Frogs. We also have at our website, CBSSports.com, our all Big 12 team, including our preseason player of the year over at KU, J-Dub, our preseason freshman of the year, Marcus Smartbaum out of Oklahoma State. That kid's got skills. Also on our all-league team, you'll find Murray, Nash, J-Dub again, Smart, and PJ, Pierre Jackson, out of Baylor, another fantastic player. It's all at our website, CBSSports.com, as we look ahead to the year in the Big 12. For my partners, Gary Parrish and Jeff Goodman, I'm Kevin Cork. We'll see you next time right here on College Basketball 360.